I recorded a vlog last night that I said I would post this one. I would record this one today. But the one I recorded yesterday is not for any time soon. I'm watching videos of the earthquake reports for Morocco, and well, first of all, people have unrealistic expectations that building inspectors will come and tell them if it's safe. Like, that's way too soon. There's way too many things to do before. But so that, that shows egocentrism. But even the kind of help people do need from their own governments or from other governments that their governments have agreements with, or for who claims to be such great helpers around the world, is it doesn't come, or it doesn't come enough, or it comes too late, or it comes with a price to pay that is hard to know about until it's too late. So that's the common denominator with people that believe that they're humans partaking in human civilization and that we've made progress as a species. When you start realizing how much we've devolved as a species and how much the concept of community is absent in the countries and societies that you admire the most in the world, whether they're religious, whether they're supposedly democratic, it's ridiculous to expect what this earthquake, that landslide, that wildfire, that explosion, that war, you still think help is on the way from a reality that doesn't exist because you're not connected to the reality of the real human condition. So how are you supposed to problem solve when you don't start with reality as a foundation? So this is lessons in democracy, okay? So I've been saying in a lot of my vlogs that slavery has never ended. It's gotten worse, and it's hidden more, and it's in plain sight more, and it is more and more the norm that people don't even see it, and people partake in it, and it's ridiculous. So let's say I go outside again, where people have just voted, every 4 years, and they come out, and let's say I want to interview them. Do you know how happy they will be as sheep, thinking they have power and they made a difference? But do you know that even if I question them on, is it normal that once every 4 years you spend an hour of your day and you think you're active participants in where your country is headed? And do you think it's normal that when you watch a news report where people are actually active participants, non-violent, that they get arrested in violent ways, and you are one of the first with your friends to say, look at those idiots, if only they would go vote once every 4 years for an hour and visit with their friends, and then there's no real suitable candidates, but they somehow believe, as the sheep they've been programmed to do, that they somehow are not slaves. Of course you're slaves. A democracy that convinces you, if you believe it's a democracy, then voting once every 4 years for whatever elites, happen to be the ones that are more kind of in tuned with the time, the sickness in the culture that they're in at the time, and gets voted in, reflecting on your own sickness, as sheep who are disconnected from reality. It's ridiculous. And you guys get mad when I say you're not human. When I say sheep act less like sheep than you do. And I could show you video footage of sheep where one does something and they defend each other against whatever's going to happen, and one runs away. You guys don't do this. You are more sheep than sheep. You are more monkeys than monkeys. And you still have this ridiculously, unrealistically false view of who you are as a species. So right now, one of the ways the elites, especially, you'll know which ones, because look at the news channels or the YouTube channels where they're actually posting how, oh, these protesters that are active participants in democracy in nonviolent ways that risk themselves for you, the hypocrites that think you're better than them. When these channels show how they were violently treated and arrested, well, that's the channels that the elites that are your enslavers own. And that's what they use to make sure you don't become those kind of sheep, but you stay your kind of sheep. The one where, your very existence on this planet is not helpful in any way, whether you go to the best church in your town or city, or whether you believe you have the highest education in your family, you're really more sheep than sheep, more monkey than monkey. So you are ridiculous in this way. And if you don't admit to this, and I'm not saying go nuts and go break down the windows, and no, what you have to do is just start with yourself. Even if during your generation, you mostly just re-educate yourself by talking about we are really slaves. What can we do to get out of this system that has been building for hundreds and hundreds of years, where the elites, who are also slave of the ideologies that are disconnected from reality, they're just the ones who have a little bit less hardships than you, but they're also slaves. They're not human either, right? Human doesn't lead to the kind of behaviors the elites do either. So you're so failed as a species, but it's so ridiculously disappointing to see you judge others that are more human than you and that get arrested for it as your inferiors, when they are 100 times your superiors when it comes to being at least close to human.